Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And they're all fighting each other. They're all eating each other for the scraps of the franchise, once known as Doctor Who.
Still known as Doctor Who, but...
Doctor what?
It's Doctor Who Cares.
Doctor Who Cares. Yeah, this article, you said it came from what? Autumn Mirabellis sent this over?
He sent a picture up, put some pictures of headlines, and this was one of them.
Yeah.
I found it too funny not to address.
Spare me the white feminism. Ncuti Gatwa deserves to be the Doctor Who star. Different identities being pitted against each other doesn't help anyone. Yet I saw disappointing comments because the Doctor is no longer a white woman.
Whoa. Different identities being pitted against each other doesn't help, but she names it "Spare me the white feminism."
Spare me the white feminism.
So, which one is it, Lola? You either don't put against each other, because that's exactly what you just did in your headline. I just think it's funny because remember, if you didn't like Doctor Who before, you hated women. Now, well, spare me that white feminism crap.
Yeah, they're mad. Doctor Who. I knew this was going to happen. As soon as they made the Doctor a woman, I'm like, they can't walk it back. They cannot make the Doctor a man again. And they did. Now, it's a queer man, a queer brown man.
You had to have two checkboxes to make it work.
Right.
You can only go backwards, guys, if you have more than one checkbox.
Yeah, so we had to make sure, okay, now we have a queer Doctor and a black Doctor, so that's okay. But I was like, they will never, at least not on the current regime's watch, they will never make the Doctor a straight white man again, ever.
Well, or a woman now, because apparently that's problematic to be a woman, too. You have to have more than a checkbox than one, even though they kind of alluded that Doctor might be, into women. But that doesn't matter. It wasn't enough of a checkbox, and also Lola here herself is black, so that's probably part of it.
It's never enough.
I just think it's funny. But here's the joke's on you guys. It's not about white feminism. I think they both suck.
So we don't know. Yeah, we're gonna talk about this because look, there are a lot of articles being floated about and people making comments on Twitter and on YouTube about how people are just mad that the Doctor is a queer brown man, but that's not.
Yeah, it's racism or you're against you're
right.
homophobic. It's one of the two.
Two check boxes, right? You can't just be like, oh, the Doctor's a woman now, so now you're a misogynist. Well, now you're racist and a homophobe too. No, it's because the quality of the show's declined. I don't know if I'm going to dip back in or not. I was not impressed with the David Tennant specials. I watched part of one. I'm like, yep, you know what? They're dragging the Doctor. I'm out. I'm not watching this. I don't care how good it looks because Disney clearly was throwing big bucks at this thing. But I'm done. I think it's easier. It's easier at some point to just break it off completely than to just kind of dip in and out. Kind of like a toxic relationship. You just end things.
See, I'm out. I was out before, but I'm out because, I think the My Generation is stupid. I think the Timeless Children is stupid.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think he says that the other guy was his friend, so he's just going to keep holding on to all that stuff because it was his friend. Just because it's your friend doesn't mean it's good. And then that you have him out there, and this in general, the attitude is, and even the actor, you're all racist assholes if you don't watch my show, and you hate gay people. And it's like, I'm sorry, and twerking at aliens. You lost me at all those things. I don't even care that he's black at all. That doesn't bother me in any way, shape, or form. I don't care. I mean, it's a little weird that he's supposedly, gay now, but okay, whatever. That doesn't even what bothers me the most. It's the other stuff that bothers me, and the fact that you guys are going out and telling anybody who questions it they're racist. That's what bothers me. And I'm sorry, I don't want to see anybody twerking at fucking aliens. I don't.
He's twerking and clubbing, and this is definitely not
for me.
That's just it. I mean, you can say that. Like, I'm not even
for a lot of people.
I'm not even mad about it. The thing is, we're never going to know what the numbers actually are because Disney's going to do the best job they can to hide it.
Well,
so
what's funny? Oh, sorry.
Oh, I was going to say before we get into it any further, but you can tell me what's funny first.
Well, no, we'll do the woohoo thing first.
Oh, well, you do the woohoo thing.
Woohoo! Let's kick ass.
Okay, so that's it. Please subscribe and all that.
Yeah, woohoo. No, I think it's funny because I don't know if you have it pulled up or not, but they have Davies, and he's basically like, oh, well, the general public. That I don't know if you put it up or not. I don't know which article it was in, but it was talking about well, the culture war and pop culture community and stuff, that's different than the actual numbers. And just because people hate it online, they're the ones with the biggest mouthpiece. Something, I forget how he worded it exactly, but the regular folk are still talking about it, are still watching it. Except the numbers don't say that that's the case, unless you go by Disney Plus's bullshit.
Yeah,
I don't buy it. I'm sorry.
No, somebody was trying to say he had a YouTube video, and I guess he name checked us and some other YouTubers, and talking about, because we were talking about the numbers on Doctor Who, and like, they're not good. I mean, they haven't been good for a while. It's not just Ncuti. It's before him, Jodie Whittaker, and even the end of the Capaldi era, Doctor Who started to trail off. And they're not regaining the numbers. Now, it's weird because with, for all the misogynists that weren't willing to give Jodie Whittaker a chance, the best ratings that Who has had in recent years was actually her first episode. I think a lot of people were tuning in to see if the show got any better.
No, the first episode wasn't bad. And then they descended into all the bullshit that they were going to. I mean, the second or third episode, you knew where it was going to go. And most people were like, nope, I'm good. Thanks. I'm good.
Yeah.
I mean, you get a woman in there and then you give her absolute shit stories. You get a black gay man in there. And I'm sorry, I have yet to be seen. But so far, the singing, the musical number with the gremlins or whatever the hell they were, was dumb. And now you're going, don't it? Yeah. And then you have the whole thing with him talking about twerking at aliens. And then you have this whole thing.
So I'm just going to put this out there. I could be wrong. This drag villain is called the Maestro. Kind of like Missy was called Mistress. Mm-hmm. I'm just putting it out there. I could be wrong, but I think it's the Master in Drag. Because there was kind of a joke in the one Capaldi episode where he met himself or herself, where the Master and Missy teamed up, and he was putting on lipstick, trying to get used to it, because in the future he was going to be her. Mm-hmm. And I wonder if this is the in between. I'm just saying. I'm putting it out there because why make such a big deal about this new villain, Maestro, Master, Mistress? I mean, come on.
Well, they keep going into these musical numbers because Davies wanted to do a musical. I'm like, seriously.
That's really gay.
No, it's not that. It's just dumb. And this is somebody who likes musicals. It's dumb. It's not Doctor Who. I mean, you're leading too heavily into the whole, look, we're going to do music.
Yeah,
it's
well,
twerk.
we think that's all about the TikTok numbers and whatever.
That's what I do think it's about, because they kept bragging, oh, that song was so popular on TikTok. And they're desperately trying to get people to tune into the show. So they're definitely pandering to that TikTok audience.
All right, let's talk about this. It's coming from The Independent. We'll go through a couple of these articles and see what for stupidity awaits us. Spare me the white feminism. Ncuti got what deserves to be the Doctor Who star.
Have no problem with him being black at all.
Yeah. Can I be honest? Okay. I'm tired of the representation Olympics that follow every announcement of either the next James Bond, Doctor Who, or some other well-known TV character.
Same. I'm
tired of the black insert name here doesn't represent me takes.
So there you go.
They're laced with racism.
I'm tired of it, but I'm tired of it because I'm black and I'm tired of it. And because if you don't like it, it's obviously because you're automatically a racist. This is so stupid.
So the racist takes aren't just insulting and sad. They also don't make any sense. The Doctor's an alien who has the ability to take on different identities as they regenerate. Are we going to go with the they, them pronouns for this Doctor?
What makes me mad about this whole thing is him being black hasn't been a big issue, I don't think. I mean, maybe in some circles, but it's not the... Okay. For all their talk about how small voices on the internet amplify that they don't like it when the reality is people like it, I would argue the same thing. Repeating it over and over that everybody who doesn't agree with you is a racist is like you're amplifying one small group of people, because most people aren't mad about the black thing.
Yeah, and they always go for that. I mean, I'm not saying everybody. I'm not saying, but I actually, when they announced Ncuti, I was actually surprised. I was like, oh, it's a guy. I'm really surprised it's a guy.
The Doctor's been wanting to be ginger for a while, so,
You had, well, yeah, right.
I mean, it's basically the same thing.
Basically the same thing. That would have been a funny joke. That would have pissed people off. But, yeah, so she said she didn't want to take away from Ncuti by saying, this is great, but I wish the new Doctor had been a black woman. Yeah, Joe Martin made a guest appearance as the fugitive Doctor. I'm going to go on record as saying it again.
Said before.
I've said before. People think, whatever. I did watch that episode and I think she was in two or three episodes. I think she made a better Doctor than Jodie Whittaker. I think she had the presence that Jodie Whittaker did not have. Jodie Whittaker felt more like a companion, like she was kind of doing a knockoff David Tennant. But Jo Martin actually felt like she was a badass.
Let me get this straight. Basically, this black chick's mad that it's not a black chick. Is that what the whole article is?
Yeah.
It's racist and sexist because it's not a black woman.
Yeah. So, yeah, diversity on screen has a long way to go. This isn't the right time to make those types of comments. Different identities being pitted against each other doesn't help anyone.
Yet she does it repeatedly throughout the article.
Yeah,
Correct?
Yes. Yeah, I saw disappointed comments because the Doctor is no longer a white woman.
Where did you see that? Because most people aren't mad about that. Most people were not sad at all that the Doctor is no longer a white woman.
Why do people assume white women are the pinnacle of representation?
Well, no, it's white women lesbians usually. I mean, I'll give you that one.
Well, she was a lesbian too. They actually
I'm not going to disagree with her on that one. Yeah. I will give her that one. That was the case. Not so much now, but it's a couple of years ago, 2 or 3 years ago. It was like a running joke that it's always you make the dude a woman. It's a white woman, and then she likes women. Well, that's lesbian is the identifier.
Well, here's the thing. This is the comic book trope, and I've seen it in the animation too. Every black female character that's introduced has a side shave and is a lesbian. Like, it's never like, oh, it's just a black woman.
Well, but even here, it wasn't just that you made it a man again. It had to be a black man who was also gay.
Yeah,
you couldn't just do one. You had to have more than one checkbox. Otherwise, you cannot. That's just the way it is.
I want a tiny Doctor. I want the next Doctor to be played by an actor with dwarfism.
Oh my God, I would love that.
The tiny Doctor?
That would be amazing.
Oh my God, he could have a tiny TARDIS. It'd be like a tiny house, but it's way bigger on the inside. Like, it's like, oh, look at how cute the little TARDIS is, and then it opens up. It's like, holy shit! It's like a palace in here.
That would be awesome, actually.
And he's got like monster trucks. He's got monster trucks in his tiny TARDIS.
That would be fun.
Put me in charge of this fucking show. I will give you badass tiny Doctor Who with his monster trucks inside his tiny TARDIS.
I would watch that.
Anyway. Yeah, so a lot of people complaining that it's not Jodie. I mean, Jodie Whittaker stands were vicious.
I know, but there weren't that many of them. No, like, she's making it out like everybody's mad now because it's not a white woman. And it's like, no, most people were happy that Jodie Whittaker was gone. I think most people are happy that the Doctor's going back to being a man.
Yeah, nevertheless, it's a big moment in TV history.
Nevertheless, basically, this woman's mad. It's not a black woman. Basically, she's just like projecting a bunch of crap and saying everybody should be, this conversation should be happening while she has the conversation again. Just it's on her side. I'm like, look, I don't care what. I mean, if he was the Tiny Doctor, I don't care what color the Tiny Doctor was. As long as it's Doctor Who and it's good and it makes sense and it isn't like musical numbers with gremlins, I'm completely fine with it.
This person, slightly tipsy Max. I've actually seen the opposite. This is one of the comments. I actually seen the opposite on social media. People saying it's good to see Jodie Whittaker go, and the Doctor should never have been a woman. Ultimately, it seems we have every flavor of bigot available in this country. I do think having a Rwandan-born gay black actor is the most fabulous trolling of government I've seen for some time, though. I hope he is a smash success. That's funny. Yeah, so they're going to be pissed off. Doesn't matter. Here's the problem.
For all of them talking about how everybody like us are just looking for reasons to be pissed off, they do the exact same thing.
Yes, they are eating each other, and I expect it to continue because this invariably is what happens. Every time you make a change to a show or a movie or whatever for the sole reason of representation, right? And they always claim, well, that's not why we did it. We just always imagined this character was black-coded or whatever. When you make changes, and we're not talking new characters, right? And then Doctor Who, I think, can get more of a pass because the Doctor does change shape.
Yeah,
right?
that's true.
That's fine. You can. It's not like you just like woke up one day and it's like, oh yeah, I'm just black for no reason. It's like, no, I regenerate.
But the thing is, you went years and years and years and years and years, and Doctor wasn't a woman. You went years and years and years and years and years, and the Doctor wasn't black. I'm sorry. And now all of a sudden, the last few years, you're literally retconning everything to set it up. They could be, this, and then you're like, why do people hate it?
I want the next Doctor to be American. We've had Scottish doctors, but there's no
American Tiny Doctor.
American Tiny. Oh my God, like Cotton from King of the Hill.
American Tiny Doctor.
Oh my God, I would watch that show. I would watch it. You could put American flag on the TARDIS. Is that sacrilege?
I wouldn't do that. No.
Oh my God.
I mean, I honestly understand why they don't, because it's like their thing. But then they're going to Disney for money, which is weird.
Well,
It's our thing. We have to keep it to ourselves. No Americans. And then they go and, well, they did have one. And then they go, and
Neil Patrick Harris, they brought,
Yeah.
is he American or is he Canadian? He's
I don't know,
American.
but like North American.
Same thing. They all sound the same to me, except when they say out.
Then they're like,
say oot.
but don't get the money from Disney, which is an American company.
Yeah, they have no problem. See, the only reason this show, you have Disney to thank for this. Now, I think this is all Russell T Davies, but the only reason this show is still going on is because of Disney. And he said as much. He said basically, if Disney wasn't cutting the checks, BBC can't afford this shit.
But he also was going around like, but no one tells me no. And I'm like, somebody needs to tell this man no. Sometimes you need to tell this man no. And I have a feeling it's going to be very clear that someone needed to tell this man no as this show goes on.
Well, we'll see. I mean, I'm not going to watch it. I'm going to be honest. I'm watching the fireworks around it. I mean, look, the easiest thing to do anymore with a beloved franchise that's being dragged is to just sit back and laugh and just be like, you know what? You do you, boo, whatever. And when it invariably crashes and burns, because it does almost every time, then we'll be here to kind of laugh and monetize that laughter.
I mean, the only way I would go along with it is if I hear a lot of people that I trust that, normally are pretty fair, and they're all like, no, it's really good. Then I might consider it.
Yeah, that's actually happened.
I have no problem with him being black. I have absolutely zero problem with it at all. The gay thing I think is a little weird, but they made comments before.
Well, he's been a woman. So,
I know they made comments before. So I'm like, I don't even. That one isn't so much. It's just I know Russell T Davies is like being completely batshit about the whole thing. Shitty Got was out there shooting Got One in his mouth everywhere.
That's what gets
a problem.
Me.
So they're basically labeling everybody bigots if you have questions.
Yeah, so here's the thing, and this is what happens too, is a lot of times the people involved with these shows actually preemptively do damage to the shows by making politics take front and center stage. And they could just be like, hey, yeah, he just happens to be black, happens to be gay, no big deal, still the doctor. Please come watch our show.
Plus, Davies hates us, so why would I watch?
Which is so weird. I loved him. I mean, I might actually get along, but
even when we said he was coming back, we're like, that's awesome.
Yeah, I was actually excited. It's like Davies coming back with David Tennant and Catherine Tate. I'm like, yeah, that sounds pretty awesome.
I still like your old work. Just saying. I mean, not sold on your new stuff, but your old stuff I still love.
It's kind of like Mark Hamill. Same thing kind of happened to Mark Hamill. Like I still appreciate Mark Hamill on some level, and his work has brought me joy in the past, but right now, like, the political hot takes are kind of cringy, and I'm like, I just
want a good show, man. That's all I want.
We always have Empire. We always have Empire. Yeah, this ain't it, man. But yeah. So he's talking about the anti-gay backlash. Look, did anybody watch his original run? Did you watch Torchwood? Because there was a lot of gay.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty
You know what I'm saying?
That's why I don't really care about the gay stuff so much, because they've alluded to it before. So I'm like, that's not that big of a deal. Some of the other weirdness, though, like musical numbers and twerking and all, I'm just like, why?
Yeah, but he said he wants it to be up there with Star Wars and Marvel.
Well, it's not. Well, wait, okay. If it's current Star Wars and Marvel, I think you got a chance.
I think you're there because it's kind of the trifecta of destroyed franchises right now.
I don't know. I think you might have a shot if you're going current Disney era, which no one, but a lot of people don't like. I'm not gonna say no one. A lot of people don't like. You might have a shot.
Yeah. So I don't know.
He's like, I love Jody. My friend Chris Chibnall was writing it.
Well, that's why he's not. Walking back the retcon.
Here it is. I think we have to cope with an internet age where fandom is critical, but it's not public opinion. Basically, he's implying that a lot of people still like it. The fan outrage online is critical, but the public loves it, except the numbers said otherwise.
Yeah, I mean, that can be true. I will give him that point. That can be true because sometimes we do have a lot of people that complain online about stuff, and then it turns out it's not really that big of a deal or a deal breaker.
The Harry Potter game, Hogwarts Legacy.
Yeah, 23 million copies sold.
There's a good example. And but the proof was in the numbers.
Yeah.
The proof is not in the numbers here. That's the problem.
You miraculously pull 23 million views on every episode of Doctor Who on Disney Plus, and we'll talk. We'll be like, yeah, obviously a lot of people like it. And they might, and that's fine. And look, I want to be clear. Like, I'm not telling people you have to hate it because we don't personally like it. But I'm like, I think anytime you go out and start castigating fans before the thing even dropped, it usually tells me you ain't got much going on. And they know exactly how the show is going to go, how it's going to land. This is not 2008, 2009 Doctor Who anymore. Russell T Davies is not the same person, obviously, that he was back then. It's going to be what it's going to be. And I'm sure it's going to have its fans. I mean, even the worst fucking movie, the worst fucking TV show in history has its fans.
I don't care. And I said this before, and I said this about He-Man and everything else. Like, I don't care if people like it. The problem I have, and I don't care if I like something, someone doesn't like it, or vice versa. The problem I have is when you're out there actively attacking your audience and bullying people because they don't agree with you. That's where the line is drawn. And these people have already preemptively started attacking the audience. And if you don't like it, it's not because maybe that's not for you, or there's it's because you're racist. It's because you hate gay people. It's because of this, and this. And I'm tired of it. Maybe it's just because your show sucks. I don't know.
Well, this is where it's going to be interesting, though, because there is backlash, in regards to the direction the show's taking. And they said the one thing that a lot of families do in the UK is sit and watch Doctor Who on every Saturday night with their kids. And Davies says he believes Doctor Who is woven into the family, it's woven into the hearth, and it's part of childhood memories.
And with our kids, we used to sit together and watch it too. The thing is, I don't care how woven it is into your family and how much you love it. If you ruin it and it's no longer about the childhood memories, and the characters no longer act like your childhood memories, you're not going to watch it. Our kids walked away when it started getting like crappy.
Yeah, I was actually last to go. Squid King came back when Jodie Whittaker came on board for the first couple episodes, and then he noped out with Rosa Parks because he's like, my God, this is like the most disrespectful. Yeah, the Doctor is responsible for Rosa Parks going to the back of the bus. Like, come on. Yeah, and they just never look back. And I don't know. I mean, I guess good luck with all that. That's all I can say. But
stop telling everyone it's because you're racist or you're sexist or you're homophobic or I'm sure there are people out there that are. I'd be stupid to say there aren't, because I'm sure there are. But I don't think that's where the majority of people are coming from.
Yeah. So we're going to wrap it up.
Yep.
Please subscribe. We'll talk later.
Bye.